It is common thing, that is first chapter in every year, that is first paper, we found a question, board question, and you looked the topic, that is the most important topic. I not mention, but I mention what about the question. What type of question you found from this topic? So you just think fluid mosaic. Fluid mosaic, that is figure is very important, and mitochondria plastid, both figure and function. Then Golgi body, it is new from some last few year we saw, that is Golgi body. Every year after year one question you find, because detail structure or how Golgi body and why it is called carbohydrate factory or why it is called traffic police of cell, like this. And then DNA and RNA. I think this year DNA RNA most important from first chapter, first paper. And you know the DNA structure, it is common question, and relative question is comparison between DNA and RNA. Then transcription. Some board we saw, that is transcription also come. You know already the process, but it is tough. Sorry, the total process is long, but you can short it. That is the process, that is DNA. The mRNA is created from DNA. The process is called transcription. So you use the figure you see in all your book and provide the summary, not details. Figure is important. Figure you just show, you just present your answer, then you will get full marks. Then chapter 2, already you looked the topics. I not mention it, but here I mentioned two color, that is telophase and prophase. Sometimes one question we found, that is telophase and prophase is fully opposite stage. That is incident happen in the telophase is fully opposite of prophase, or prophase is fully opposite of telophase, such like of stem you see. And meiosis cell division prophase 1, you know already, that is prophase 1, and prophase 1 is under meiosis 1 also, we not mention here, but prophase 1 have 5 sub-stages, and you know that is leptotin, zygotin, packaging. So I mention you packaging to dikinesis, 3 stages is very significant, and that is crossing over. When you read, that is packaging, starting packaging, crossing over is started, and one question we see in board, that is crossing over is start in which and when it will end in, that is dikinesis stage, and this is very significant. And other that crossing over figure and significance, it is very common question. That is one chapter, chapter 1 you can find one question, and chapter 2 this year it is also important. And chapter 3, previous year we see also, that is not huge question come from chapter 3, few question we see, but this year it is also important. That is, you know, it's common in every year after year, one year after 1 year, that is ring structure of, that is sugaring structure, that is sucrose ring structure is very important. Then starch and cellulose, it is new, it is difficult, but I think if you practice alpha and beta D glucose ring structure, then it will easy for you. And that is the function of protein and lipid, it is common description type question. And amino acid properties or characteristics of amino acid, lock and key theory of enzyme and uses of enzyme, these two is very important for this year. Then chapter 4, in every year we saw a question, that is it is come from sometimes malaria, and I here mention the last segment, I not mention total serially, but last you see, that is erythrocytic and hepatic syzogny, you can see. And another question from malaria, common question, how to control or how to protect, how to prevent, or how to how you recovery from malaria disease, like this information come. But this year I think Most important is viral and bacterial disease. That is economical importance of bacteria. It is also important, but this segment you must need to memorize and practice. Figure related question in the last segment, but there is no figure. Then chapter 5 already found question in last year, so this year it is less important, but few you can gripping in your hand, that is in your grip. It is, I think, you can easily control. That is Elothrix filament dust figure and mushroom, that is agaricus, economic importance, and the ringworm skin disease held for the fungal disease, skin disease in human, and that is potato. You know that is potato is common disease, that is lead blight, and that is pathogen name and host name. You must memorize it. Solarum tuberosum, and pathogen is Phytophthora infestans. You must maintain memorize. And ecological importance of lichen, that is important because lichen is a common question in both TS of lichen and ecological importance, very important. And that is a Rixia thalas, chapter 6, you already know. Already one question come in last year, related question, but it's not come. That is Fern Prothellas, heart shape. You look common things. It is two question I provide here. Heterocyclic life cycle of tennis is common, and that is chapter 7. You also seen some question, and it is very much important. That is Prothellas. That is Poaceae and Malvaceae. That is floral diagram and formula. It is common. It is common question, and 5 scientific name of attached. And coralloid root, why and why it is icus, that is living fossil. You must memorize this segment, is important. Chapter 8 already we found one question in last year, so it is less important, but you can just memorize the bundle vascular bundle classification. Then Lundegaard, and also 9, chapter 9, 20, that is 19, one question also come. This is not so much important, but this chapter is very much important, total biology first paper. But you can manage some new segment. You see there is limiting factors, a new question I mentioned, importance of photosynthesis and photorespiration. It is important. Respiration, photosynthesis, signification, it is very easy, common, but photorespiration different thing. Glycolysis common, and one molecule glucose energy balance sheet or etc, it is common question. You just manage or not. Then after chapter 10, it already found one question in last year, but this segment is important. You look, that is hybridization process and parthenogenesis. Different parthenogenesis I mentioned, that is after before changes of fertilization, common question, and the hybridization for the crop development, variety development. It is very much important. One question can come, I think this is important. And that is technique of tissue culture. And importance and development, but I mention here different thing, the different application of biotechnology. You can memorize this. I think this is very important. And insulin production common, and genome sequence, biosafety, it is not come, but it will come for knowledge or comprehensive level. And last one you see, that is adaptation, chapter 12, huge question is there, that is pyramid, commonly found here, but I mentioned for this year, that is adaptation feature. Sometimes it come, that is from come one question or two, that is geographical region or oriental region, that is two, that is scientific name of different endemic plant and animal of oriental, that is reptiles, mammals, birds. Two scientific name you must memorize. And endangered, that is organism of Bangladesh. The last segment you will see, that is Corypha talaira, that is tali palm, or that is different, that is blue wheel, that is, or some plant, that is rotella, or some others animal. You will see, you just why they are endangered and how you must practice. These are the first paper segment. So I think if he mentioned the suggestion for 2020, what about my observation? My observation is you can memorize, I think this one, that is, I think this is, I can mention, that is you must found one question, must, M for must, and that is you must found one question from chapter 4, must. And you must see in a question that is from chapter 7, that is must. And you will found one question that is from chapter 10, that is chapter 10, that is also must, I mentioned. and chapter 11 you also seen one question. I think that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. You need 5 question. It is very much tough suggestion. I think you must see one comprehensive, that is that is application and higher order, both you must see, must, that is 1 chapter 1, chapter 4, chapter 4 and chapter 7 and chapter 10 and 11. These are your final suggestion. Then we go to the second paper. What is second paper? You see the chapter first chapter. It is common, that is different basis of classification. You see first one question sometime come, but this I think is very common, different between chordate and non-chordate. Sometime different way this question can come, and stem is used and some characters you must memorize. But this question, that is why different vertebrate from urochordate or cephalochordate, why all chordate are not vertebrate, different way this question is come. And this is very much important, one question every time, every year from first chapter. And second chapter 3 segment you already see what is hydra for important budding, that is regeneration, looping, somersaulting. I think one question you must see, because looping and somersaulting, this is very much important. And mechanism, that is digestion of triploblastic and that is diploblastic animal. One comparative question, because chapter 3 also digestive system, or human digestive, what is the difference between or the correlation or the similarities or dissimilarities between hydra and human digestion. And then second segment you see, that is male and female grasshopper compare or blood circulation compare between grasshopper, fishes and that is human. You see here fishes and human, that is the blood circulation. It is comparisonly very important question. And superposition apposition, no doubt superposition apposition, it is very much important. And omatarium structure, and then finally you see the tracheal system, all are important. Then go to the last segment, the cycloid scale, that is unicircuit circulation, Rui fish, function of air bladder, every time natural conservation. It is very much important question. And then that is third chapter, one question already come in last year, different digestion mechanism. But I think that the liver function and role of nervous system in digestion and absorption process and obesity, it is very common, class 9 level, 9-10 level. And that is how to control obesity, or comments according to the that is obesity detection authority, international standard, that is. Then the fourth chapter, that is already come one question already, LS of that is TS of heart and heart blood circulation already come like 2090. But this year this is now important. But this segment I think you can manage. Blood pressure, how to control BP by baroreceptor, it is come from different year. Angina, atherema and myocardial infection, MI, that is heart failure, why, or pacemaker difference, and angioplasty and coronary, that is bypass. There is application level I think, but one question that is mixed up with others topic, but this is less important. But chapter 5 is very much important, that is structure of alveolus, compare of gill and lung, lung and gill respiration, new question I make. And it will see, you will see, that is function of diaphragm, rib and muscles of respiration, carbon dioxide oxygen transportation, one oxygen transportation or chloride ship reaction you see here, or RBC or plasma, how you use for carbon dioxide and oxygen transportation. And sinusitis, what is media, it is very much important. Kidney, in every year we saw a question for kidney. So this year I mentioned mechanism of urine production, and that is how to, that is kidney regulate sodium in blood, new question. And in your book you see how kidney control, that is pH in blood, this is your new question. Osmoregulation is very important, osmoregulation already you see. And then go to the chapter 7, already we know it is not so much important chapter, but this question you can memorize, that is description of various cartilage, sometimes one question you see. And that is the comparison between different muscle is smooth, cardiac and skeletal muscle, but the tonicity not, but not push, Why muscle? This is common question. And description of 3 liver, that is first class liver, second class liver, one question can come. And knee movement, this is also important question, it can come. And practice, teachers and students practice this question commonly. And then functions of chapter 8, origin of nerves, 10 12 pair of cranial nerves, you know that is I last year 2019 already come. So here is very much important, hearing system, and that is human balance. And hormone secreted from pituitary gland, you know 9 hormone, you just memorize it. And chapter 9 sometime we see one full question, sperm and ovum, that is structure, and difference between the spermatogenesis or spermiogenesis, I use different new question. And fate of 3 germ layer of human germ layer, and STD disease, syphilis, a short note you must memorize. Then chapter 10 is also important, that is phagocytosis. I mentioned already last year one question come, that is from antibody the structure, but this year I think skin that is role in defense mechanism, or that is natural artificial immunity difference, or what is this, and the role of vaccine in immunity, role of memory cell in immunity, and that is difference between antibody and antigen. This new question. Then Mendelism, one question you see in every year, that is to this year I mentioned, that is this ratio, it can repeatedly, it can change, but color blind and hemophilia. But I think this one, that is must, deaf and mute, you must see you this question. And RH factor, new one I mentioned here. And last one you see somewhere, some year you see migratory bird, spider web, and parental care of fish, and that is zigzag, nicotine birds and fish dancing why, and learning behavior of that is Pavlov's law, social behavior of honeybee. These are the total segment. But what about your, that is my observation for second paper, that is must question, you mentioned sir must question. So I mentioned here that is from 1 chapter 1 one question you must, and chapter 2 that is very much important both, that is hydra one question, and that is the grasshopper one question. So you must from one question from 2 or more than 2, that is one or one more than one question you from 2. But chapter 3 is not so much important, chapter 4 it is so much important, but the last year important question already comes. So chapter 5 must, chapter 5 that is must, that is, and kidney in every year, kidney chapter is must, important must. So already 4 question already we found. So chapter 8 one question is must chapter, and I think Mendelism is must. So these are the 5 question. Chapter 1 that is 1, chapter 2 minimum 1 2, that is structure of that is alveolus, that is chapter 5 1, that is chapter 6 is 1, so 1 2, that is 3 4, and chapter that is function, origin, cranial nerves and human, that is sometimes it is mixed up with another chapter or this chapter, but Mendelism is must. So I mentioned here 7 question, so you need just 5 1, chapter 1 chapter 2 you can see. And Rui fish also important, if you manage this one also, then you will get chapter 1 and chapter that is 2, you will get 2 question, minimum 2 question from chapter 1 and chapter 2. So you cannot read more. So for that is application or higher order level 3 question you can get, and you just read that is up to 6. The 5 question will manage from chapter B. Within chapter 6 you manage 5 question, I think manage. This is very short suggestion and very that is very much intelligent suggestion, and what we'll see after examination you will discuss. So I think these are the total discussion about. So today my dear student, thank you all. If we get scope, then we will discuss the revision for these topics, some important topics before that is exam. We don't know when it will help, but I think up to that keep it up. Just this segment you see properly, and I just review the suggestion, and you just watch everybody, share everybody, and if you any question, then please don't feel hesitate and comments in my YouTube, that is video page, that is video, or any comments in Facebook, and you just contact if any problem. And this is very danger time, I not want more share, but everything is going on, that is like sea tide or the wave of water or the air, everything is going on. So don't be hesitate, our life will running like river or sea. Thank